Hello everyone and welcome back for a new lesson. So if you watched my previous video, you must have learned how you can use the present perfect tense correctly and appropriately in your day-to-day life. So in today's video, I thought of teaching you how you can use the present perfect continuous tense, or we call it the present perfect progressive tense, appropriately in your day-to-day life. So let's get started. Well, among all the tenses that we learn in English language, the present perfect continuous is so special, and I'll explain you why. But before that, let's quickly look at the things that we're going to learn in this lesson. First, how the present perfect continuous tense is formed, the grammatical structure of this tense. Secondly, when and where to use the present perfect continuous tense correctly and appropriately. And thirdly, well, I have noticed most of us are just confused between the present perfect continuous tense and just the present perfect tense. So let's get all these confusions clarified as well. So first of all, let's see how the verb occurs in the present perfect continuous tense. කොහොමද මේ present perfect continuous tense එකේදී verb එක යෙදෙන්නේ? So as usual, as in any other sentence, we have the subject, and next the most important part, the verb, how the verb is formed. Well, the verb is formed like this. First, you have or has, depending on the subject. Well, if the subject is plural, you simply take have, and if it is singular, you take has. Next, been, B-E-E-N, been. And after that, you take the ing form of the verb, the ing form of the main verb. For an example, cooking, walking, working, like that. So the verb comes as have or has been, ing form. Has been cooking, have been cooking. So it's as simple as that. So when do we use the present perfect continuous tense? As I told you, the present perfect continuous is very special because this is not just talking about the past. Or this is not just talking about the present. The present perfect continuous tense connects the past and the present. And I'll explain you how. Well, think that you started some action in the past and you're still doing that action, right? So to indicate the continuity of that action, during this time period, you have to use the present perfect continuous tense. යම්කිසි ක්‍රියාවක් පටන් අරගෙන තියෙන්නේ අතීතයේ සහ ඒ දේ තවමත් වර්තමානයේ මේ මොහොත වනකොටත් සිද්ධ වෙනවා. So let's quickly take an example for this. Say that you joined this company in 2017 and now it's 2021. So there is a period of time, 3 years. So how do you say that? You can't say that I'm working here for 3 years. And you cannot say I worked here for 3 years. Or I have worked here for 3 years. Then you have to say, to indicate the connection between the past and the present, you just say, I have been working here for 3 years. I have been working here for 3 years. When you say that, you mean that you started working here in 2017, 3 years ago, and you're still working here. You have not resigned. You're still here. So this is how you say that I have been working here for 3 years. Or in another way, you can say, I have been working here since 2017. 2017 ඉඳන් මම මේ කම්පැනි එකේ වැඩ. එහෙම නැත්නම් මම මෙහි අවුරුදු 3ක් තිස්සේ වැඩ කරනවා. You started working in 2017 and you are still working here. So let's take some more examples for this, so it's easy for you to understand how this is used. Well, take the sentence. Think that your mother is a teacher and she started her career as a teacher 10 years ago and she is still in this profession. She is still a teacher, right? She started her career 10 years ago and she is still teaching. So how can you say this sentence? It doesn't belong to the past and it doesn't belong to the present only. So you need to draw the connection between the past and the present. You need to say that still she is working as a teacher, but she started her career 10 years ago, right? So you simply say, my mother has been working as a teacher for 10 years. She has been working as a teacher for 10 years. Or you can say, my mother has been teaching English for 10 years. My mother has been teaching English for 10 years. At an interview, you can say, I have been working as a lecturer for more than 5 years. I have been working as a lecturer for more than 5 years. Right? What does it say? ඔයා lecturer කෙනෙක් විදිහට career එක start කරේ අවුරුදු 5කට කලින්. හැබැයි තාමත් ඔයා lecturer කෙනෙක් විදිහට career එක continue කරනවා. So how do you indicate the continuity of the action? So you can say, I have been working as a lecturer for more than 5 years. My mother has been teaching English for 10 years. Similarly, think that it was raining early in the morning. It was raining at around 6 o'clock and at 10 o'clock it was raining and now the time is 2 p.m. and still it is raining. So how can you say that? You cannot simply say it is raining all the day. Then what about the past? So you need to say, it has been raining all the day. It has been raining all the day. Or you would say, it has been raining since morning. Adu deindam wahinoa. Right? So this is how you say that. And I told you that this tense is used to talk about an action that started in the past and continues in the present. It is still continuing. But at some situations, we can use this present perfect continuous tense to talk about finished actions, even finished actions. For an example, let's say you came to this place at 8 o'clock and now it is 11 a.m., right? You came to this place at 8 o'clock and now the time is 11 and you were waiting for your friend and now your friend has come. So you would say, I have been waiting for you for 3 hours. I have been waiting for you for 3 hours because you came to this place 3 hours ago, but now the friend has come. So you would say him or her, I have been waiting for you for 3 hours. මම පැය 3ක් තිස්සේ ඔයා එනකම් මෙතන බලන් ඉන්නේ. Right? Or she has been waiting for you for 3 hours. She has been waiting for you all the day. Right? So this is how you say that. මුළු දවසම ඔයා එනකම් බලන් හිටියා. Right? So let's get another example for this. Say that you have you started reading a book 2 hours ago and you're still reading that book, right? You started reading a book 2 hours ago and you're still reading the same book. So you can say, Well, I have been reading this book for 2 hours. I have been reading this book for 2 hours. මම දැන් මේ පැය දෙකක් තිස්සේ මේ පොත කියවන්නේ. It's very interesting and you are just about to finish it. So that is what you mean, right? So this is how you use the present perfect continuous tense correctly and practically in your day-to-day life. And there is another thing that I want you to learn here. How you can use the two words for and since. These are actually two words that we often use in this tense. Well, for an example, I would say, I have been working here for 3 years. I have been working here for 3 years. Right? For 3 years means it indicates the duration, the time period, right? For 3 years, duration. අවුරුදු 3ක් තිස්සේ මම මේ ආයතනයේ වැඩ කරනවා. Then how can you use the word since? Take the same example. I have been working for this company since 2017. I have been working for this company since 2017. Since means from that day, right? Since 2017. මම මේ කම්පැනි එකේ වැඩ කරන්නේ 2017 ඉඳන්. 2017 වර්ෂයේ සිට. So this is how you use the two words for and since in the present perfect continuous tense, and I truly want you to learn this because this is very important. So next, just as I mentioned, I have noticed that most of the students or most of us are just confused between the two tenses, the present perfect continuous and the present perfect. So what is the difference between these two tenses, and when and where we use these two tenses differently? Right. First, if we take the present perfect tense, I told you that the present perfect tense is often used to talk about our experiences, right? That you have done something in your past. It can be anywhere in the past, right? You don't specify a particular time, right? So that action has taken place anywhere in the past. Basically, you use this tense to talk about your experiences. For an example, the present perfect tense. I have read this book several times. Or you would say, I have read this book 2 times. I have read this book 5 times. මම මේ පොත 5 වතාවක් කියවලා තියෙනවා. And that is your experience. I have seen him somewhere. I have seen him. It can be any day in the past, right? And that is your experience. So now let's take the present perfect continuous tense. What is the difference? For your ease of understanding, I will take the same example. I have read this book several times, present perfect tense. And in present perfect continuous tense, we would say, I have been reading this book since morning, or I have been reading this book for 3 hours. What does it say? You mean to say that you started reading this book 3 hours ago and you're still reading this book, right? So you can simply say, I have been reading this book for 3 hours and I can't stop reading it. It's so interesting, right? මම මේ පොත දැන් පැය 3ක් තිස්සේ කියවන්නේ. කියවන්න පටන් ගත්තේ පැය 3කට කලින්, හැබැයි තාමත් කියවනවා. So look at the difference between these two sentences. I have read this book several times. That is your experience. And when you say, I have been reading this book for 3 hours, it means something else. So I hope you have learned how you can use the present perfect continuous tense correctly and appropriately in your day-to-day life. And also I think you can use the present perfect continuous tense hereafter more confidently and comfortably. So if you are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and see you again in another interesting video. Until then, you take care.